winter is coming, at least here in the northern hemisphere, and it's time for me to plan my winter wardrobe. And if you want to know all about those plans and see what I will use for my fabrics that I've actually shopped from Finland in the north to Spain in the south, well, that's what we're going to talk about today. And the first project for my winter sewing plan is to make a dress. I have talked about this previously, that I have something of an addiction when it comes to sewing dresses. I really tried to cut back on that addiction for the last year, just focusing on more clothes that I know that I will wear on a day-to-day basis. But the lure of the dress is back, and I will make one that I hopefully can also wear in more casual atmosphere at the office and things like that, so it won't just hang in the wardrobe and look pretty. And the pattern I will use for this dress project is a dress from an old Burdastyle issue, and I was really drawn to this dress because it has a lot of gathers in the front. I will not make it as long as this. I will probably end my dress just around the knees, because that's where I like my dresses to end, you know, not perhaps knees, perhaps calves, I don't know. You tell me what you think the length will be better here. It's really hard when you can't really see it on the body. Anyways, and the fabric that I will use for this dress is this beautiful wool jersey. It has a border print that is repeated and some distance, so I'll definitely make good use of the border print when I make this dress. I will probably both use the border for the sleeve details and of course down at the hem. And the pattern reminds me of old Norwegian traditional patterns, so I'm not sure where the fabric is from original, but it's very Norwegian in the look and also in the colorway, red, blue and white. So perhaps it's a Norwegian wool jersey, who knows. Anyways, it's beautiful fabric. And when I was trying to decide on a pattern for this dress, I was actually also considering another Burdastyle dress from an old magazine, a short sleeve raglan dress that actually used panels in the design. And this is where I sort of ran into like perhaps I could call it the body image issue, is that especially after 40 my tummy has gotten a bit rounder, and while I do like straight styles, I found that they have a tendency to cling to my tummy and perhaps ride up. So to be honest, I didn't feel confident enough actually to make this dress as it was, because as you can see it's quite straight. So that's why I ultimately decided to pick the dress with the gathers around the tummy as well. And I wish I was the person that was completely unbothered by these things, but to be honest, I'm not. And I think also it's important when you're making your own clothes that they make you feel good and give you confidence. So I think I made the right choice, even though I will say I do love the look of this more straight dress as well. And the second project for my winter wardrobe is to make a blouse. And I will use a wonderful cotton voile that I bought in Helsinki in Finland earlier this year in May. And I bought it in a wonderful little store. And I was really drawn to the beautiful pattern, and I love blue and white. And I was a little bit tricked as well, because at the border it says, let me see here, it says cotton voile Italian style. But in my mind I read it cotton voile from Italy. So I think it was a case of Italy washing, if that's a word. And probably it's not made in Italy, but it is wonderful fabric. And for the third project, again I will use a fabric that I bought on my travels. Again, earlier this year I was in Barcelona, and the wonderful Esther, links will be to a blog in the description section. She offered me to take me around Barcelona for some fabric shopping. And the fabric I ended up buying is this beautiful cotton eyelet. And I love cotton eyelet, and I've sewn many garments using that fabric over the years. However, one thing I've noticed when it comes to the white fabrics like this is they tend to get a bit yellow and soggy after a while. So after a few years I've had to retire all my eyelet blouses. And if you have any suggestions on how to avoid getting that sort of yellowish tint on this precious fabric, I would love if you tell me. Please tell me in the comment section. Again, I will use a pattern that I've tried before, so I will pat myself on the back now. Again, I will not try to reinvent the wheels. Instead, I will use a Burdastyle shirt pattern that I sewed earlier this year for my spring wardrobe, where I used a Liberty fabric. And the inspiration for this blouse is actually pretty much to copy a similar eyelet blouse that I made many years ago using a Built by Wendy shirt pattern. And what I liked about this pattern and the pattern that I'm also using from the Burdastyle is that it has, now you have to help me telling how this is called in English, it's an open dart. So, I mean, normally waist darts on tops are like this, right? But this one is then and it's open, so the dart follows all the way down to the hem, and it's quite wide, and I really like how that shapes my front body. So I was really glad to see that Burda also has one of those patterns, because I really loved it with the Build by Wendy. So that's what I will do for this one. So quite simple blouse. I might do a long sleeve, but probably short sleeve, so I can also wear it in the summer. And you might wonder, why am I using such light fabrics for my winter wardrobe? Well, one is because I really want to make this fabric now, and the second reason is that I wear cardigans all year round. So what I usually want is short sleeved blouses that isn't too warm, so I can wear a wool cardigan over. So that's why I'm sticking to using a light fabric, so it's not really an issue when it comes to getting cold for me. And speaking of Italian fabrics, the last fabric that I will use for my winter wardrobe is in fact an Italian fabric, or I should say at least an Italian designer fabric. It's a wonderful wool navy elastine thick fabric, and what I will use for that is again another Burdastyle pattern. This time I will do a skirt that is pleated. And the great thing about this pattern from Burdastyle, it's from the August issue 2017, which I, by the way, highly recommend. Excellent magazine. And as you can see, it has a flat upper part and then the pleat starts a bit further down. And I found that this is perhaps a style that is most flattering for me. Again, going back to that tummy issue that I talked about earlier when it comes to the dress. Again, this is something that I found really works for me, and I've done several dresses before using a similar flat area around the tummy and the pleat starting a bit further down. So these were my winter sewing plans, and if you haven't already, please subscribe for more videos, and also check out my blog where I will give you progress updates on my winter plans, and fingers crossed all goes well, and if not, I am here to talk about it. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!